know, Sunday definitely caused some chaos around college hoops. Several bid thieves who were able to swipe one of those tournament spots from at-large contenders. Boise State, Colorado, Virginia, and Colorado State, the last four in. They will play tonight and on Wednesday. So this month is all about brackets and betting, and with that, Erik Kuselias joining us at the HQ desk. Looking at those first four games, as a reminder, 8 teams. We got 2 games between the lowest at-large teams and then 2 games between the lowest seeded automatic qualifying teams. And tonight it all starts at 6:40 p.m. Eastern with the 16 seeds Wagner and Howard. So Wagner won the Northeast Conference for the first time in 21 years. Howard going back to the big dance after claiming back-to-back conference tournament titles in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. So, EK, where is your money going in this one?
I like Howard in this spot for a couple of reasons. And look, I have no life, so I go home and I crunch numbers on teams that are 16 seeds, because that's the way it goes. Look, they have experience. They were here last year, and experience counts second time around. Meanwhile, Wagner, they don't have much experience in this spot. But here's what I really like when I really look and delve into Howard. They don't pull upsets, right? They're 1-9 against quads 1, 2, and 3. But when this becomes a, pick on someone your own size, they are very, very good. Some teams are built to play up, and maybe they can knock down Duke. That's not who Howard is. But Howard doesn't really lose when they are the slightly better team, which they are here. So I'm going to play that Howard is that squad that knows how to beat teams their own size. And that's what this matchup is about. And then when I add in the fact that they were in this tournament last year and they're all coming back to see it again, to me that gives me a significant edge with Howard. Now for the X's and O's, Wagner is slow, too slow, dead slow to quote Titanic. And I think that in this spot, Howard will be able to speed them up just enough to get through this, make some free throws late, and cover the number.
And that would mean they would play North Carolina in the round of 64. Now to the bubble game later on tonight. It's close to a pick'em here. It's a matchup between 2 teams, EK, that I think most people would agree shouldn't be here. Like Colorado State probably should be seated higher. Virginia shouldn't even be in the tournament to a lot of teams. They haven't won a game in the tournament since they won the title 5 years ago.
Yeah, they are not a great team, and they're not a great tournament team, as you point out. They are susceptible to getting picked off. So I'm going to sort of fade them a little bit. And plus, one thing when you crunch down on Colorado State, unlike what we just talked about with Howard, they play up very well. They seem to enjoy going up against the Power 5 conferences. You can imagine the coach looking at them before the game and going, they could have had all of you kids here at Colorado State, and they didn't want you. They didn't want you. They chose those kids over you, which is why when you look at them, they have 6 quad 1 wins. That's a lot. When they play teams that they feel disrespected against, they come out with their hair on fire. This is a perfect spot for Colorado State, who feels disrespected, underseeded, to go take it out on a team which is a big name in Virginia. Give me Colorado State.
It's 6 quad 1 wins for the Mountain West team, just 2 for the ACC team, to EK's point. Colorado State has proven it time in and time out this season.
And the winner of that one gets Texas in the first round. All right, we're going to talk money line upsets for each region now, and we are going to start off in the East. That looks to be the most difficult just on paper. What are you thinking there?
All right, you didn't bring me on to give you like a plus 120 upset.
Nah.
So let's come right out of the gate and give you a good one. I like Yale. I think Yale beats Auburn. And when I look at this, every single box that I want to check for a big upset gets checked here. Let's take a look at Auburn right out of the gate. This is the flat spot of all flat spots. They're coming off winning 3 big emotional games in 3 days in the SEC tournament, packed house, Nashville. And then what do? They go back to the Plains, and everybody's telling them how great they are. You guys go in the Final Four. Wait till you see UConn in the Sweet 16. They're going to get theirs. All this other stuff. And then what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to get on a plane and fly to Spokane, Washington. Now, last I checked, there's not a lot of directs from Auburn, Alabama to Spokane, Washington. It's going to feel like the other side of the world. They're playing a morning start local time. If there was ever a flat spot, this is it. Meanwhile, let's look at Yale. Experience. All these kids have played in the tournament multiple times, right? They're well coached, they're smart, they're senior laden, they knock down shots, And they got to feel like they got a new lease on life. They are dead to rights against Brown in the Ivy League title game, and now this is the ultimate house money. So don't tell me that Yale can't go up there and knock down Auburn. And there is a long history in this tournament of teams who win their conference tournaments as 2, 3, and 4 seeds, and everybody thinking that's momentum, and then getting blitzed and out right out of the gate. This is one of them. Give me Yale, huge plus money play.
Wow, almost over 6-1 there, plus 610 Yale over Auburn. Auburn is, I think, the 7th shortest favorite to win the national championship, but that's why you get a lot of value there. Let's move to the West. That's where North Carolina is the 1 seed. Your money line upset here would knock out Matt Norlander's Final Four pick.
Uh-oh.
And who's his Final Four pick?
St. Mary's.
Okay, well, look, St. Mary's, I see where he's saying that he likes St. Mary's. He likes that West Coast Conference. But I like Grand Canyon. Look, the Lopes, by the way, great. The Lopes.
Great.
It's terrific. They're going to get good looks. When I'm looking for an upset, I'm trying to eliminate variables. Because I have the lower seeded team, right? I got to figure out a way to find something out here and knock somebody down. So I want less variables. This is a 1 variable game. Can the Lopes make open shots? Because St. Mary's is the #1 rebound margin team in Division I. They pack it in and they rebound your misses. But they're not quick out on the perimeter. And what do the Lopes do? They swing the ball, they're quick, they're going to keep shooting, they're going to get a lot of threes. They're going to get a lot of threes, and they're going to get open threes in this spot. This is a 1 variable game. If the Lopes knock it down, they're going to win. And the anatomy of an upset is being able to knock down the 3, feel the momentum, get on fire. The other team starts to pucker, and that's what happens. Give me Grand Canyon.
Woo! All right. There's always so many stats about, where's the best upsets coming from. The 12-5 matchup is always, I feel like, on that stat line. And in the South, that's where you're going with this one. So what's the biggest upset?
Yeah, I like James Madison. I actually think they're better than Wisconsin. To me, this isn't even an upset.
Oh.
I grade them out as a higher and better team. Look, Wisconsin had a bad 2 months, and then they had a good 2 days. I'm not throwing a bad 2 months out for a good 2 days in the Big Ten tournament. They are who we thought they were. They're 3-8 before the Big Ten tournament in their last 11. 3-8, and those are all conference games. And not everybody in the Big Ten was good. So I'm not going to do that.
Down this year.
Right, and they're 3-8 down the stretch. And here's the thing: they are a terrible, terrible fast break team. Right? They average the least fast break points of anybody. So they're not going to be able to take advantage of the missed shots and the long rebound threes. You may slow James Madison down, but can you take advantage of it? And the answer is no. So just because you get them to miss some shots and you can play slow, you may not score either. So I like James Madison, who averages 84.5 points, who knocked down Michigan State at Michigan State, who can score points to find a way through this. They are very good. You don't know about James Madison, but take James Madison.
Yeah, Mackenzie Brooks from Sportsline. That was one of her upset picks as well on that line. Moving to the Midwest. Yeah, write that down. This is where Purdue is the #1 team. We've had experts come on that they've liked McNeese as the 12 seed over Gonzaga. They've liked Samford, the 13 seed over Kansas. You like the 11 seed here in a game it's close to a pick'em with Oregon, the 11 seed, going up against South Carolina.
Same thing. I have Oregon as a higher rated team than South Carolina. It may be an upset, but in my mind, this is not an upset. Look, I congratulate South Carolina. Their coach did an unbelievable job. I mean, Lamont Paris is the coach of the year in my mind. But, if you're an NBA fan, those teams that play really hard and well in the regular season, while the other teams kind of sleepwalk through the playoffs, and then they get to the playoffs and they get beat because they maximize. They got all the juice out of the orange, right? They did everything they could. They're just not that talented. That's South Carolina. South Carolina is not very good on the road. They surprised and just sort of snuck up on a lot of people in that conference, and that's not what happens in this tournament. Oregon is good. Oregon just won their conference tournament. They beat Colorado, who is healthy and hot. I like Oregon's talent better. I think their coach is experienced, obviously, with Dana Altman. He's been here a bunch. And I think that this is a perfect spot for Oregon to come out and beat a team that overachieved but can't sneak up on them in the tournament. Give me the Ducks.
EK, one bracket or multiple brackets?
One bracket. One bracket.
You're on
one
an
love,
there, Jenny.
One bracket.
I bet most people watching this at home fill out multiple brackets.
Well, but they're doing it wrong.
Doesn't mean they're right.
Okay. Well,
you should feel like something is going to happen, write it down, and write it down again and again and again. You can't think, oh, well, there's going to be a 15 over a 2, and then in the other bracket, no, the 2 is going to go on a run. It's childish.
I'm letting my kids pick the bracket.
Speaking of childish.
Those kids, I guarantee, will have better brackets than all of us.
They absolutely will.
Did anybody have, again, you had UConn winning the title, you had FAU, you had San Diego State last year. You know who picked that? Children.
Yes.
Childish.
And FDU over Purdue.
Right.
Yes.
Children.
Children. All right. Erik Kuselias, we're going to see much more from him today. Of course, you can watch Sportsline. It's going to be on our air at 6 p.m. Eastern. You got to check it out. He will have all the information in his single bracket that he's going to be filling out for this March Madness.